Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to our Arabic class. We are doing the Medina Arabic course book 1, and tonight inshallah ta'ala we are starting from the 16th lesson of book number 1, even though it should be our 51st lesson thus far. So it's a short lesson, very short in reality. The lesson is deep and important. So you'll find a ton of exercises, as you can see over here that have been scrolling. All of this are exercises just to make certain that he tries to hammer the lesson home. That's basically all that you are really doing here for tonight, inshallah. So, in any case, let's begin. Bismillah walhamdulillahi wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. So we are doing a Darsu Sadisa Ashara, the 16th lesson. So let's read first. This little piece is the lesson. So I'll read first and then, we can explain what exactly is going on here. So he says, it's a conversation between the teacher and two students. So he says, Al-Mudarris. Al-Mudarrisu is the teacher. So he's the speaker. He says, Liman hadhihi al-aqlamu ya Muhammadu. Liman, to who hadhihi al-aqlamu, to who does these, or at least, the word hadhihi is singular feminine. It's not a typo, it's not a mistake. Singular feminine, hadhihi. We've done it. We've done hadha and hadhihi. So al-aqlamu, we need the word qalamun, which means a pen. Aqlamu means pens. I believe we have done this word before in the same book. So it should be in your vocab book if you've been keeping up with the lesson and noting things down and stuff like this here. Then you should have aqlamu inside there already. So Ya Muhammadu, O Muhammad. So this sentence means, who do these pens belong to, O Muhammad? Who do these pens belong to, O Muhammad? But the crux of this lesson is this right here. This here, at least I should say. هذه الأقلام. هذه is singular feminine. Qalam is singular masculine. Aqlamu is plural masculine. But we're using singular feminine. Why is this? So this is a rule in Arabic which is known as Jama' ghayr aaqil, as we call it, which is a plural of non-sentient beings. That's the way I tend to translate it. Aaqil means that, those creatures which have aql, which have sense. So included in this are human beings, jinn, and malaika. You may say, but you call a dog can come, but that's not the aql that the dog has, or any other creature for that matter. So these are creatures, they are not aqil. That's why I don't know, maybe I'm using sentient also incorrectly, but basically it means creatures which have aql, and aql are these three: malaika, human beings, and jinn. So for outside of these categories, whether it is living beings or whether it is inanimate objects, when you want to speak about a plural form of them, you will use singular feminine. So, okay, he's going to give you inanimate objects during the course of this lesson. So if we look at the word qalamun, singular masculine, keep in mind. Aqlamu, as you are seeing in front of you now, plural masculine, because obviously the word is masculine from the singular form, which we've just now made in plural. So it remains masculine. But the thing is that any ghayr aqil, any non-sentient being or non-sentient thing, or non-sentient being and things, when it is made plural, all of them, there are some exceptions, but all of them, as a general rule, will be treated in a singular form. You say هذا قلم, هذه نافذة, هذه سيارة, etc., etc. So that's in a singular form. In a singular form, everything functions perfectly fine. When the problem only comes about when we go plural. So it doesn't even exist in dual. It exists only in plural. The minute we shift now to plural, then for human beings, malaika, jinn, you would say هؤلاء الرجال. For example, haula'i, which is a plural, or for example, or hunna, hum, and all these plural pronouns and stuff. It applies to these three categories: malaika, which are the angels, the jinn, and human beings. They are counted into this category of being aaqil. Outside of them, others are all ghayr aaqil. So in the context here, we're talking about pens, P-E-N-S, plural inanimate objects. So therefore, we use the word hadihi when referring to them. Who do these pens? If it were to be, let's put it this way, if it were to be used in its correct sense, we would have been saying liman haula'il aqlamu. For example, if aqlam were a name for angels or human beings or jinn, we would have been using the word haula'i rather than hadihi. Plural masculine rather than singular feminine. But anyway, before I put out such unnecessary statements that make you confused, let's just summarize the matter. Human beings, jinn, angels, they are deemed as being aaqil. When they are singular, they are proper. When they are plural, they are proper. They don't get affected by anything. Outside of them, things are all ghayr aaqil. So either they are animals. Now, animals mean any living object, or whether they are inanimate objects such as pens and books and buildings and etc. They all fall under inanimate objects, but they are ghayr aaqil at the end of the day. So when you're dealing with a ghayr aaqil in singular form, they will a singular and dual will follow its normal. All the rules will apply, like you had learned before. It is only when it comes to plural with these type of words are they now all treated as singular feminine, irrespective of whether the word you are speaking about is masculine or feminine. That matters nothing. In the plural form, these words will all be referred to with singular feminine. So, هذه الأقلام. Let's do another word of a living being. We did the word kalbun before, kalbun and qittun and so on and so forth. Kalbun means a dog. Now, kilabun is plural. So it should be, liman haula'il kilab, for example. But you would say liman hadhil kilabu. Hadhihi is used despite kilab being a living creature. So it's not to do with being living, but it's got to do with being sentient, having intelligence, being, an aaqil person. Now, clarifying here, we're talking from the point of creation, not from an individual perspective. Now you think, well, they've taken monkeys and they've taught them how to speak, so therefore these monkeys are aqil. No. Or you have a person and he's insane, so he's ghayr aqil. We say no, he's human being, so he's aqil, irrespective of whether he's insane and speaks with the imaginary creatures around him. It doesn't matter. He's still a human being, and thus it affords him that state of being aqil. And that monkey who can do all the hardest sums in the world and work everything out and everything of the sort, and he can dress himself in all your clothing and stuff, he's still a ghayr aqil monkey at the end of the day. So here, aqil and ghayr aqil refer to your creation and not what you as an individual are experiencing. But anyway, so like I said, whether you're dealing with aqlamu, which is an inanimate object, or you're dealing with kilabu, which is an a living being, but it is both of them are ghayr aqil, so they will only be referred to in a plural form with a singular feminine pronoun. So hadihi is that pronoun that will be used, like I said, irrespective of what gender the creature is that you are referring to. So it can be a lot of male horses or male dogs or masculine words such as houses, baytun, buyutun, pens, qalamun, aqlamun, or any other thing for that matter. Whether it's masculine, whether it's feminine, it does not matter. So the plural feminine for women, because they are aqil. But if you come to the ghayr aqil creatures, for example, you take a car, which is sayyaratun. Sayyaratun is the plural form of it. So liman hadhihi sayyaratu, for example, you would still use the word هذه, even though you're talking about many cars, سيارات. But the point being, because of it being غير عاقل, therefore singular feminine is the demonstrative or directive pronoun that you will use for them. That's basically what the crux of this lesson is all about. So if you've understood that, then you've understood the lesson. And if you didn't understand that, then you are in trouble going forward if you don't understand how this lesson works, because you'll forever be making 1,001 mistakes. All right, so let's see, where are we? لمن هذه الأقلام يا محمد? To who does these pens belong to, O Muhammad? And Muhammad now replies, Muhammadun hiya li ya ustadhu. Hiya li ya ustadhu. So هذه hiya. Remember when we did our Ad-Damair booklet, and I told you, memorize all the possessive pronouns and the regular pronouns. So you've got huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu. If you had swatted it off the way you were supposed to, then you'd know it as simple as I just read it out right now. So if you follow it, huwa, huma, hum, hiya, singular, feminine, third person. So once again, we are here. So we're referring here. Here is referring to what? Here literally means she, if you were to take it in that context. But in the perspective over here, because we're speaking about a jama' ghayr aaqil, a plural form of something which is inanimate or not sentient, then you use the singular feminine. So singular feminine is here. So hiya li ya ustadu, it, meaning it, all of these pens, it belongs to me, O teacher. So هذه hiya, they correspond with one another. They are singular feminine forms. So we're talking about plural masculine pens, but they are treated with the singular feminine pronouns. So not all that difficult. Let's move on. So the teacher now says, المدرس هي جميلة جدا. هي جميلة جدا. It is very beautiful. That's the translation. So Jamilatun is feminine. Yet, like I say, we're speaking about a plural masculine, like pens. But because it is stated as a singular feminine, therefore we use the word hadihi, we use the word here, and the description now is also being feminine too, which is jamilatun. We're not saying hiya jamilun, we're going to say hiya jamilatun. So in other words, all the rules of being feminine now applies to it. So هي جميلة جدا, it is very beautiful. وهذه الكتب الجديدة أهي لك؟ وهذه الكتب الجديدة أهي لك؟ كتب is, as you know, the plural of the word كتاب. جديدة, you have جديد, جديدة, جدد. جديد singular masculine, جديدة singular feminine, جدد plural masculine and plural feminine as well. But وهذه الكتب, and these books, which ones? الجديدة, and these new books, أهي لك, does it belong to you? So al-jadidatu and ahiya, both of them are feminine, singular feminine. وهذه الكتب الجديدة, kutubu is plural masculine, but al-jadidatu and hiya are the words which are associated with kutubu, hence why it is treated as singular feminine. So وهذه الكتب الجديدة أهي لك, and these new books, do they belong to you? Muhammadun la hiya li Hamidin. No, it belongs to Hamid. Then al-mudarrisu. Aina dafatirukum ya ikhwanu? Where are your notebooks, O brothers? Aliyun, now one of the students, he speaks up, he says, Hiya huna ala hadha al-maktabi. It is here on this desk. So here, it referring to your the notebooks. Huna, here, ala, on, hadha, this, al-maktabi, desk. So here, huna, ala, hadha, al-maktabi, it is here on this desk. And that's the end of the lesson itself. So in all actuality, there's only two things that have been touched on in this lesson. Number one is, like we did, the aaqil and ghayr aaqil, that stand in its place. I think we did sufficient on that already. But the second point is dafatirukum, this particular word here, not the word itself per se, but from the point of what you call this now, the pattern that it's on. We did certain words, like for example, masjidun, masajidu. It does fall into another big chapter known as Jama Taksir, Jama Taksir, Jama Mukassar. People will call it by different names. Simply put, it refers to a broken plural. What is a broken plural? In Arabic, it is when the original words are separated. So, for example, if we take the word daftarun, dafatara, daftarun. Now, how is it broken? It gets broken by an alif being the fa gets shifted, ta gets shifted, and an alif pushes its way in. So it's a broken plural. Its order of the original words are broken. So dafatirun, not daftaruna, for example. There isn't a word like that, but you get the idea. Had it been daftaruna, it would be a sound plural because the original words are all next to each other. But dafatirun, or at least dafatiru, not dafatirun, you don't get tanween, but dafatiru, the alif has broken the original spacing of a dalfa tara. Now it's dalfa alif tara. So it's stepped in and broke a space open. So it's treated as a jam'u taksir, a broken plural. And that's basically how broken plurals work. We'll be touch on the point of broken plurals at a later stage, inshallah ta'ala, when we actually come to the lesson that deals specifically with it. But for now, just keep in mind that is how a broken plural works. But anyway, what's the purpose of it? Dafatirukum, like aqlamu, it is an inanimate object. It is plural, obviously, but we are once again using the word hiya, it, because we're not speaking about a living being, so therefore it's referred to as it and not them or she and so on and so forth. We've barely been on class for 18 minutes and it's already saying we're running out of time. Okay, let's just, we'll do one singular exercise and stop on that point, inshallah. But anyway, Ali had said, "Hiya huna ala hada al-maktabi." It is here on this desk. So the notebooks are here on this desk. So you are aware of what the translation is. Let us move on now. Okay, so tamarinu, exercises, plural form. See, tamrinun, tamarinu, tamarinu. Hence why you hear whenever we say it in the singular form, tamrinun, it's got tanween on the end. But when we put it in this broken plural form, tamarinu, mafa'ilu, this pattern, it becomes a broken tamim, rayanun, tamrinun. But now it gets broken, alif pushes its way in, it becomes tamarinu. So the original form is split up. It's known as a broken plural, not a sound one. So tamarinu also gets no tanween. So anyway, it says ta'ammal al-amthilat al-atiyata. Look at the following examples. So it says al-mufradu, singular form. هذا طالب جديد. هو من بلجيكا. So هذا طالب جديد. This is a new student. هذا singular masculine. Huwa, he is min from Belgica. Belgica is the Arabic name for Belgium. So huwa min Belgica, he is from Belgium. So this is a new student, he is from Belgium. Now he says, this is the mufrad, the singular form. Al-jam'u, as far as the plural is concerned, ha'ula'i tullabun jududun. These are new students. Hum min Belgica. They are from Belgium. So aaqil, students are aaqil, they are intelligent beings. You're not referring to, once again, monkeys and your circus animals as being your students. You are referring to actually human beings. So therefore, we use the aaqil plurals for it, in other words. So hence, هذا هؤلاء طالب طلاب جديد جدد هو whom. So literally everything changed to plural. Now he gives you the flip side of things. That was the aaqil. Now he comes to the ghayr aaqil. Al-mufrad, the singular form. هذا كتاب جديد هو من بلجيكا. This is a new book. It is from Belgium. الجمع, the plural form. هذه كتب جديدة هي من بلجيكا. The plural form is هذه كتب جديدة. These books are new. So كتب plural form, hence جديدة, hence هذه, because we're speaking about the books. So therefore the pronouns attached to it have got to change now to become singular feminine. So where aaqil would be plural as they were and singular when they are, but in ghayr aaqil, singular forms will be according to how it's supposed to be, هذا or هذه or whatever. But when it comes to the plural form, then it changes only just straightforward singular feminine. So هذه كتب جديدة هي من بلجيكا. These are new books. It is from Belgium. So this is a new book. It is from Belgium. These are new books. They are from Belgium. And that's basically the end of tonight's lesson. Like I say, there's a lot more exercises to come. So we'll do all of that in due course, inshallah ta'ala. But what is imperative and most important over here is that you make certain you have understood this lesson, incorporated it into your life, and most importantly, do the exercises that is mentioned. But in any case, that being said, we end on this point here, inshallah ta'ala. Our time is just about out. So we'll stop on this point here until next time. Like I said, look through it, make certain you understand it. You've got a whole list of words here for the next lesson, which it says حول المبتدأ في كل من الجمل الآتية إلى جمع. All you have, it wants you to do is change the word which is in the following sentences. This is what he is. That is what the singular, plural. So you need to adjust the word هذا, which means this. So you want to make it plural. So which pronoun will you use for it? That's basically what the lesson is calling on for you to do. So you can consider that to be your homework for next class, inshallah ta'ala. But until then, we end for tonight, inshallah, and we say, وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.